What up, everybody? This is Kyle from Knockouts and Three Counts. We are fresh off of UFC 243, where we just saw a career-making performance for Israel, the last style bender Adesanya against Robert Whittaker over in Australia. But before we get to the main event, there were some cool things that happened before we made it to the main event. There was a great knockout by De Castro. He knocked dude out cold with one shot. Nice left hook. And how could you not be a fan of that guy when he gets on the mic after the fight and goes, I want to keep fighting. I'm trying to make the best life I can for my family. I want to fight, and I got to fight to do that. How can you not respect that? Great win for him. Great win on a big stage. And, let's see how soon we see him back after that. Also, after that fight, we had Diego Lima, a veteran of 2 seasons of The Ultimate Fighter, as well as the brother of Douglas the Phenom Lima. And he put on a pretty masterful performance with his leg kicks, man. He tore Potter's legs he tore his opponent's legs up tonight, man. He straight smashed, did a great masterful job with his defense, landed good shots. Obviously didn't win by knockout. I don't know what in the hell those judges were looking at. Or it was Jimmo, excuse me. Why did I want to say Potter? I was talking about Potter from the prelims. He fought Jimmo from Australia as well. I don't know about you guys, but it's kind of hard not to say that it, who knows what that judge was watching. I don't know what fight he was watching, because in my opinion, it was 30-27 Lima. Even at that, I would have seen 29-28, but I didn't see any way that you could score that fight that Jimmo won, because, dude, that man's going to have a hard time even walking tomorrow, let alone practically winning a fight. After that, you had Spivak from the Ukraine versus Tai Tuivasa. In my opinion, man, Tuiasa's got a lot of star power, and with his knockout power and things of that nature, man, like he could seriously make some noise. But now this is 3 straight losses for him. Great adjustments by Spivak, great throw. He tried to finish the choke from Kasakatami. I was waiting to see if he was going to go for the armbar when you figure 4 your legs and finish a straight armbar. But overall, great transitions, great finish, and great finish with the head and arm choke. Beautifully done. Great to get a win against a hometown guy in Australia on pay-per-view. Great win for him. I didn't know much about him heading into the fight. Honestly, I thought Tuiasa was going to... I thought he was going to knock him out, but, I mean, Spivak made a great adjustment in the second round, and then got that nice throw and continued to take him down and land some great ground and pound, man, and neutralize what was, I think, Tuiasa's advantage on the feet. After that, you had Dan Hooker versus Ian Quinta. Hooker called Ian Quinta out for this one. Hooker really impressed me, man. To be quite honest with you, I didn't know as much about Dan Hooker. I knew plenty about Ian Quinta as past guest of the show, Miles Jury, and he fought on their season of The Ultimate Fighter and had a great fight. Also, I mean, I've been watching Al for a long time, but, I knew he was coming off a couple losses, but I just thought his experience and his technical ability was going to carry him. But, I was telling my buddy Corey, who was supposed to be sitting in on this video with me, hope you feel better soon, brother, man. I thought that the fact that Dan Hooker was keeping his hands so low was going to come back to bite him, but it actually ended up, playing to his advantage. He did a good job of using his range. He also did a great job when it comes to... He did a great job when it comes to managing his distance. He did a good job on the ground. He held, he held his back, for the majority of the first round before he finally, got the before he finally got the win. And like I said, I didn't know much about Dan Hooker, before that. And I can't say enough. And then he got on the mic after that and called out Dustin Poirier. Holy shit, Dana White, if you see this, please run that shit. We tweeted at you during the fights, man. Run that shit. A fight between Dan Hooker and Dustin Poirier is going to be a hell of a fight. And then last but not least, you've got your main event. You had Israel Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker. You know, Robert Whittaker's been coming off of a couple of injuries and things of that nature. Whittaker came out with the right game plan. You know, he tried to make it dirty. He tried to make it dirty and tried to get him out of his rhythm, which is what he needed to do. But wow, hats off to Israel Adesanya, man. Just the combinations he was putting together. And, he dropped him right at the end of the first round. And I thought he stopped it at first the way it went because I didn't realize the bell had rang. And then they came out in the second round and Whittaker cracked him a few times. And then at the right before the finish of the fight, you just saw Adesanya really start to put his punches together, and he landed a couple nice head kicks. And what was crazy is it was right after, Whittaker had come within inches. He caught the mustache of Adesanya on that one, and he finally dropped him and then jumped on top of him, landed a couple punches. And some people could argue that it's a quick stoppage, man, but I think with the fact that Whittaker was already dropped, I think that it was a good stoppage, and kudos to him. Both times, when the ref jumped in, he could have uncorked a few more shots and really done some damage to Whittaker, and he didn't. Shout out to him, man. Now he's the Undisputed Middleweight Champion. I don't know who's next for him. There's a lot of possibilities of where they can go with that one. Honestly, right off the top of my head, I'm going to have to see what happens in the weeks to come and things like that. But all in all, man, it was a great finish for Adesanya. I really have to say the UFC Embedded series really made me a bigger fan of him leading into the fight. I really thought Robert Whittaker was going to be the one to get the win, and man, just the way that he put his shots together and really just did a good job defensively too. I mean, you saw at the end of the fight, he bloodied him up a little bit on his nose and things of that nature. All in all, great performance. Now you got the new Undisputed Middleweight Champion of the world in Israel Adesanya. I don't know who's next for him, but I mean, at this point, he's the undisputed champ. So now you've got to take him off the top of the hill. Also, we also saw the commercial for the BMF Bad Motherfucker title that's going to be fought for between Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal. That fight's got fire on it. We'll be watching that one, and you'll see another episode of Knockouts and Three Counts after the bell. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow us at all our pages. You've got Knockouts and Three Counts podcast on Facebook, Knockouts and Three Counts on YouTube, at KO3C Pod on Twitter and Instagram. We're going to start doing these regularly after fights and things like that. You're going to see me on here. It could be Devin with me. It could be Corey, who was supposed to be here with me tonight. You never know who could be on here with me, and we'll be getting some fighters on here at some point, to break down some of the fights with us. Just trying to bring you all the best content, man. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and make sure you stay tuned because, like I said, we've got more Knockouts and Three Counts after the bell coming. You'll see some after some of the wrestling shows as well as fights. And then you've got Devin's bringing back, now it's going to be 12:05 live, where he's talking the most current things in pro wrestling and MMA. Kev is going to be bringing out the Knockouts and Three Counts top 5. We're trying to bring you all the best content. Plus, if you're in the Detroit area, tomorrow night, Sunday night, Hell in a Cell, you've got Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks. You've got Seth Rollins versus The Fiend. We're going to be watching it live at Buffalo Wild Wings downtown next to the Old Shillelagh with the boys from Breaking Down the Ring. Make sure you don't miss it. Check it out. Again, like, share, subscribe. Have a great night, guys, and stay tuned for more.